Alright, that's working. So, just got my Lymow one and want to take it apart and check all the screws, make sure they're nice and tight after seeing a lot of the other posts on Facebook. Just want to do a quick video. Figured I'd do a live stream. If anybody else knows more about this than I do, feel free to drop some comments. I've never taken it apart. I drove it around the yard for about 5 minutes just to get the RTK up and working. I've seen all the pictures and videos that everybody's posted on Facebook. Just wanted to kind of do it myself and figured it would be a good learning experience for me, and hopefully other people find it useful. If you want to hang out, feel free. Alright, so let's get this thing going. First thing I know, I need to take the battery out of this thing. So that I'm being as safe as possible. Pull the battery out. Already a little bit dirty in there. Hopefully this isn't too heavy to put on my tape. Oops. Dropping things. Okay. It's quite a bit lighter. So, I guess one thing I wanted to check was the blades. I know they were going to start sending sharper blades. I don't know, I can't tell if that's the new blade or if I'm part of the batch that'll be getting a new one in the mail. I mean, it seems kind of sharp. I did get a sharpener from one of the posts somebody posted. I don't know, one of the sharpeners you can put on your drill. So I'm going to try that. I'm not going to do that today, but I guess first thing is we'll check and make sure the blades are nice and tight. I think from some of the other videos they said it was a 17mm. 17. Yep. So again, I did take the battery out. You can see that's here. There's no way these blades are going to turn on me. So that would not be good. I know there was also some question about blades being put on upside down. And it looks like these are going to rotate towards the chute. That's correct. And this one, those are going the right way. So on the right hand side, I guess my right hand side, the blade definitely has two triangles. And on the left hand side there's a triangle and a circle. So I guess I'll be careful as I take these off to make sure they go the right way. That did not seem overly tight at all. I would definitely tighten that more than it was. I mean, I can see, it's not going to cut me, which I think is okay. I don't think you just necessarily need how sharp are the blades. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So, I don't know if you can see it. I mean, I can see the beveled edge on it. I haven't sharpened them. I don't know if these are the new and improved blades or not. I'll probably sharpen them anyway. Like I said, I'm not going to cut my finger on it even going this way, so I think I'll still sharpen them. But they don't seem dull. So, alright, I'll make sure I get this back on the right way. Alright, so I definitely could not put this on upside down. The triangle faces the wrong way, so it's got to go this way. Yeah, that's the cutting edge moving towards the discharge. So like I said, I'm going to tighten this up more. Those are the dull ones? Alright. Yeah, I'll sharpen them. I guess I know they're going to be sending more. Good to see you in here, Myron. I know you've taken this whole thing apart. So I liked some of your pictures and said, I got to take it apart before I even use it. I don't want any of this stuff to come loose, fall out, cause a problem. So I'll sharpen these at some point. Like I said, that didn't seem very tight. I'm not going to take this one off, but yeah, easily got another quarter turn out of that. So, all right. I do want to take the side discharge chutes off. I've got some long grass, so I plan on using a side discharge to start. And I know there's some fins or something I need to remove also. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay too. This is like the first time I've ever done anything like this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Jared. I'm going to remove the... use the side discharge to start. I'll probably just keep it that way. I mean, unless it's making a real mess on the patio and walkways. That was the ride-on mower I use. I always had side discharge anyway. Maybe once I get it into some sort of maintenance mode. But I also feel like the side discharge is going to help. Yeah, it's a good idea not to use them to tighten it. Or I could put it on like the loosest setting. Okay, so I think I took the guard off. Alright, so I still need to get these. But yeah, maybe once I get the maintenance mode, I would do the mulching, I guess. My thought is, I would think that the side discharge would also help with the whole contact charging issue thing. There's one down here. Yeah, I'll definitely be careful. I have a bunch of screwdrivers here too. Let me tip this thing back. Oh man, even without the battery, it's still pretty heavy. So there are these mud guards, I guess. Does everybody have those? I remember seeing, I think I got to take this screw out to take off the side discharge, but I don't remember seeing those mud flaps being part of it. I guess I need to be taking account of my screws here too. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if I have to take, I know you guys can't really see this. I don't know if I have to take the blade part off. Looks like the side discharge doesn't want to come out. Turn it back down. we can see. So, I don't know if I just have to yank on it. Seems like it's stuck behind the rotating whatever drive motor. I don't think I have any screws left in it. Well, I'm going to grab a flashlight real quick. Oh! Good. Screw mat here so I remember what screws went where. That screw went with the guard. And there was one longer screw that kind of went to the screw that went onto this mud flap and connected there. So let me get this flashlight on. That's not working. Alright, hang on. We'll get different battery back. See if this one will work. Ah, there we go. There. See if that'll shine some light on it. Alright, so yeah. Seems like this is stuck here. Alright, guess you just gotta kind of force that down. It was stuck behind the, I don't know, the drum that spins the blade. So, yeah, it was just the two screws. One here and one underneath on the little mud flap thing. So let me put that back in. That's not going to stick. Alright, I guess the mud flap is actually pretty stuck on there. It's like glued in place. So that is, I don't need that screw in there. I'll just put it back in here, kind of for safekeeping. It's coming up here. In case I want to use the mulching mode later. That's that one. Alright, so let me go over to the other side. Pull the guard off. So the guard has these three screws here. And I'm being very gentle with the drill. I was skipping there, but it's coming out, I think. Alright, so those screws are all the same. And then there's one more. 4 screws on this. 3 here, 1 here. And they are all the same kind of shorter screw. Also done this video so I can put it back together if I lose track of what I'm doing. So there is another screw. So this screw here is this special screw. Those were all, and I don't know the right terms, but I'll show you in a second here. So these were all in the guard. They have like the raised up kind of screw. This one was inside connecting the side discharge block, and it's got the kind of triangle head, so it countersinks down in. And that was right here. So I need to take off one more on the mud flap. And the one on the mud flap is a longer screw. So as I take that apart, that's going to be the longer one in case I need to put that back in. I'll set that over there. Or no, I think I put it in the guard so I would remember where it was. It's that one. Not the guard, but discharge. So I just kind of tugged on this. And it finally comes free. Feels like you're going to break it, but it's got just enough to slip through. So again, this was on there like that. And this screw kind of came up from the bottom through the mud flap. Alright, so those are out. And you can definitely see what you were saying, Jared. Like this is just wide open now. So as this cuts, it's going to hopefully fling out a lot better. I guess the guard is there for safety, so you don't put your hand in there. That would be bad. But all right. Keep moving. I'm not planning on taking that apart. I guess I'll just hit all these screws and just make sure they're nice and tight. That feels tight. Oh yeah, those are in there. That is, I wouldn't say they're loose, but I've got to get it, I don't know, 1/8 of a turn out of each of these. So it'll be good to do this kind of before and after and see, if it feels like things are loosening up. At least I'll have a record of it. Not gonna do that one yet. Nope. I mean, it thinks we got to do this, but I'd rather do this now than have to deal with trying to return and whatever. Took long enough to get here. I don't want to have to. I want to be able to use this thing. I got all the base stations set up earlier. RTK mounted up on the roof line. Yeah, those are nice and tight. Yeah. So far I haven't found anything that's that loose, but when I get into the tracks, seems like that's the most important part. And I don't know how you guys got into where the motors are. Don't you? I almost thought I lost a screw, but that's from the guard. Maybe I should put that back on. Looks like it actually holds that in. Yeah, I'll put that back on. So nope, didn't lose a screw. This is one I took out. But it looks like it holds on this lip here too, so might as well keep them all in there. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of nervous. I was hoping somebody else would do it. I know somebody else in the comments or on the group today said they were going to make a video. They could probably do a lot better job. But I wasn't waiting. After I finally got this thing. Huh, those are screws coming down from the other side. So, all in all, I would say this stuff's pretty tight, but I'm definitely getting another quarter turn on it. Into the turn. Some of them are all the way in. I might as well start tight in the beginning. I don't know if I need to do anything on these wheels. Pull them down. Those are there. There are some screws on here holding that together, but looks like it's some star bit, which I know I have somewhere, but I'll come back to those. Main thing I want to do is the motors, and not the motors, but the tracks. Is all the underside plastic? Sounds like it. Feels pretty heavy duty. I mean, this is all metal, these fins. There's some like rubber front mud flaps to help comb the grass, I guess. This is all the rubber mud flap. I don't remember seeing that on anybody else's videos. It looks like that would come down and kind of be pretty close to the charging contacts. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely plastic. And metal, obviously. A little bit of mix. Alright, so let's start working on the tracks here. And the mud flap fell off. I wasn't even touching it. So, how did that happen? Was it just pressed on there? It was like this. It felt like it was glued, but not anymore. So maybe those screws do need to go back in. I feel like I'm not doing something right then. It's like they were the only two screws that were holding this mud flap on were in the side discharge. Shoot. Yeah, it looked like there was 4. So there's 2 kind of rivets here that just poke through into nothing. And there's no hole or anything that they were in. I guess they were just sitting like this. So well, let's see. I can put those back in. Without the side discharge. And so just for I guess, awareness. I was backer, I don't know, 3,200 something on Kickstarter. So I don't know if they've started making any changes. I kind of highly doubt it. I was actually kind of surprised that it came in as soon as it did. With all the updates and things, I was kind of expecting October or something. But never did get tracking information. UPS just, sorry, FedEx, whatever choice thing. I just got an email that said, hey, I have a FedEx on the way for 108 pounds. Yeah, so that mud flap just goes with this longer screw. Is going into this. So the screw that was holding this on is also holding the mud flap on. Like so. So I might have to come back to that. I definitely don't want this out of discharge, so I must have done something wrong. Don't think I did. Like I said, I'll have to go back and look at some of your other videos, or if anybody else can kind of confirm if you have this mud flap piece, and if it fell off when you took out the discharge. It's no discharge sheet that blocks it. So I'll come back to that. Alright, let's see here. We're going to turn it sideways and try these tracks. I think from what I've seen enough videos already that I'm just going to take these covers off and they're probably not going back on. Maybe. I didn't realize they were like rubbery. Alright, so there's definitely plastic underneath the rubber. I feel like if I just pulled on the rubber, it was going to peel off. There you go. So definitely don't pull too hard on this. It looks like it'll separate pretty easily from the plastic underneath. Now there's a couple kind of grip tabs here that must lock in. Now, like I said, I'm probably not putting this back on anyway. Seems like it's way easier to clean. I did let my kids drive it around for about a minute or two. Oh, in the box they provide other pieces to replace the side discharge chute, which allows the long screws holding the flap to be reinstalled. Okay, I'll have to look for that. I guess if I do that, then you can't see it. I'll come back to the bottom plate in a minute. You pull from the front and back of the rubber piece, not top to bottom. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, let's see, these were all in there with some Phillips. Phillips? Yeah. Oh, in there. Try a different screwdriver. It just felt like it was in there, but I guess it's coming right out. There is some Loctite on here. I'm no expert in it. Let's see the one drop. And on the back, I don't know. I guess the proper way to do that, I did get some Loctite, so like I said, I think I'm just taking that out. Going without it. It's like I was saying, my kids were driving it. There's already one leaf stuck in here. All right. So it felt like it was tight. I think it was just the Loctite holding it. Appreciate the help there, Myron. So I know you've been inside this thing already. Pretty far. So the other thing is I just want to check and see, you know, what does this look like in the factory before I've even Alright, so that plate comes right off with those 4 Phillips head. Put these in the nut over here so I don't lose them. And this metal clunker. Looks like 4 more Phillips head. And it's probably kind of hard to see. I guess I can move the camera. Let's see. So inside there, looks like there's washers on the bottom. 4 Phillips head on us all together. So. Okay. I didn't even know you could get screws that already had Loctite on them. I wouldn't think that would be very effective. Don't pull those. Well, everybody else takes this metal thing off, or it looks like it's nice and clear in there. I'm not planning on putting it back on for right now. But I think I'm going to pull it out for now. Looks like it's just these 4 screws. And it's just the back sprocket. So here, yeah, I'll do that one next. Or should I take the track off first? I think I gotta take the bottom plate off, loosen the tension to take the track off, and then go for it. Oh, alright, track will come off when I pull the hub off. Okay. Those 4 inner screws also had one little dab of Loctite on them. but it's not holding it that tight. So I guess it comes with, you can get screws with Loctite on it, but I don't know, doesn't it have to cure in there or something? Or maybe just screwing it in activates it, I don't know. Okay, looks like that's coming right off. So this is all metal and pretty heavy duty, I guess, just to hold that cover on. It's not like it's attached to the wheels at all, so it's not like anything structural. Oh, okay. Like I said at the very beginning, I am no expert in what I'm trying to do here. But I wasn't going to let this thing run around if it had anything loose. Okay, so next thing will be the back sprockets. So I need other bits here.
Ooh, bless you.
Let's see if this one will work. That's way too big. Alright, let's see what I got here. That doesn't have to come off. I think you were talking about the metal thing, right, Marion? I think we were working on this next, right? Looks like the T15 will do it. I don't even know if these are in the right holders. Yeah. Okay. These have the same kind of standard little dab of Loctite on them. Didn't really offer much resistance to come off. Some of the other screws that were holding on the metal support for the cover were definitely tighter in a Loctite respect. So this one too. These are quite a bit thicker. I don't know if this is helpful. My little ratchet set, it was the T15 torque screwdriver that I'm using to get this out. I mean, I would say they're snug, but I'm used to a Loctite screw at least being hard to get out. And one more. I guess there's no real screws on the front. That's just a guide wheel. Looks like there's one kind of Allen wrench. Alright, so we're saying this just comes off then? There's a couple of black things here. I don't know if they're covers over something. But so far this is not budging at all. Needs to go on its side, okay. Alright, let's try that. Or was there more from underneath? There are those tiny little screws. Do those tiny screws have to come off first? Take the tension off the track first? Yeah, I think to get to the adjustment for the track, so I gotta knock the bottom off anyway. Well, I got it like this. Let me take the bottom off.
Hi guys. Have fun.
These are some skinnier, slightly longer, but also with that dab of Loctite on them.
Yay, boys. Yeah, thank you.
No, don't take the bottom off. Okay. You had to put it on the ground, hold it between your legs, and just pull up on it. Now, I haven't run this thing yet, but I'm telling you, this does not feel like it wants to budge at all. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So, I've got the screws out of these holes. There is a little black cover piece, which almost looks like there could be a screw in there, here, and here. I don't see an obvious way of getting that out without trying to dig at it. I don't know if you've seen. No, it's not a screw. Okay. Well, let's try and do it the way you said. Let's get it on the ground. Oh, try and take the track off? Is that what you're saying? Pry the track off. Okay. Even the track feels really tight.
What do you have for dinner? Orange chicken and rice. Sorry, what did you have?
It's easy. Well, like I said, I have to resume. Sorry about that. I must have hit a Gemini or something on my phone. Okay. Put it on the ground and pry the track off. Well, so what I was saying, I haven't used these at all. These tracks are so tight on here. So I don't know if it's just not broken in yet. I mean, I can rotate them. I also heard somebody say there was something about the brake. It feels like I'm getting all sorts of resistance. Maybe you're just stronger than me. Maybe start at the front. Now, I don't know. I'm either doing something wrong, or, like I said, these tracks aren't broken in at all yet. They haven't loosened up. I'm not getting any sort of play here. So, I think I'm going to go back to taking the bottom off and loosening the, I think there's a tightening screw to adjust the track, just to loosen it up so I can get the track off. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try. I'm sure once this thing is running around, it's going to loosen up, but on the factory it feels pretty tight. Weightlifting grease to spray on the sprocket? I might. Yeah, I might. Sweaty. You know, these again have the little Loctite on them. They're not. Of course, I'm using a drill, but there's basically no resistance at all to take those out. Now it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on the bottom, 4 across the front, 5 more on the top here, or side, sideways. You would think you'd be able to adjust the track on these, the tension on the track, without taking the whole bottom plate off to get at the other 4 screws inside. I don't know. I guess they don't think you're going to have to do this very often. But this amount of screws is nothing. Anyway. Okay. Now it comes off. Some sort of moisture in here. I don't know if it's oil or grease or something. Doesn't smell like anything. Looks like sticky though. Not sticky, but definitely has not been into any wet grass or anything, so I don't know what that is. I can actually see it all along here. I don't know if something's oiled and leaks a little bit. Alright. So that's the bottom plate. So now in here, I guess we've got these four. Gonna need an Allen wrench for that, and I think once those loosen up, then there's another bigger one back here to actually tension or loosen the track. So let's see what I got for that. That's too big. Perfect. No idea what size that is, so I unfortunately can't help you with that. But yeah, those are on there. And these, just noticed there's even some kind of white paint mark on them, I guess to make sure that they got tightened enough. So as I loosen this, oh, this is the one I loosened, kind of see there's a washer. I don't know if it's a split washer or not yet, but it's got the white paint on it, and then they've got that, I guess, marked so you can see if it came out on its own, loosened it all. But see what that looks like when they're all the way out. Go with that. I don't think those needed to come all the way out. Maybe it was just loosen. Yeah, so I'm not trying to take that plate off. I think you're just loosening that. Alright, that one's on there pretty good. This is a really dumb little screwdriver too. Get my actual Allen wrenches. Big. That's as far as I can go. Well, how did you get into where those plastic gears were? And I know there were some teeny tiny screws in the back that I think I can see when I look underneath. They're almost impossible to get to. Okay. Well, that's not very good. At least we can kind of get a look at them. Maybe. So did we only see the inside of yours, Myron, because it broke? I shouldn't be able to get that far. I mean, I do see. That's why yours was replaced, yeah. I do see these screws here, so this looks like it's on the back side. And that almost seems like it lines up with what I remember the pictures. Yeah, the little aluminum screws. They are tiny. And if they're that important, that seems fun. Well, let's see what we see when we get in there. So in these four, I'm just leaving them kind of loose. Maybe not loose enough. Maybe I didn't do the front one. Because I think the idea is this metal plate kind of locks the adjustment in place. Of course, I'm doing the track that I haven't finished yet, so I need to do that on these up here. You wouldn't go into a track adjustment? I can't get that track off, and I can't get the sprocket off. It's so tight. I mean, this is the video that Lymow did, right? They loosen these four, they loosen the track. I mean, hopefully I'm not doing something I shouldn't do, but at least they have a help video that shows you that's what you do to replace the track. So where are all the screws that everybody's been missing? Was it just those sprocket screws that seemed to come loose or weren't tightened? Well, like I said, this is a learning experience, so hopefully I'm learning something and you guys too. Alright, that seems kind of loose. And the four against the body. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I think you had already used yours for a little bit. I'm sure it'll loosen up. But this feels really tight for me. Definitely not easy, like you were saying. Yeah. If the four come loose against the body, you're done. Four on the underside. So I got 8 to turn. Two, three, four. I think there's definitely more play. Alright. I think I did about 4 1/8 turns, so about a half a turn. Probably had one before that I didn't count. I think you've done all I can do. Back it out more. Okay. So I took, alright, let me just kind of recap where I'm at here. So I took these off, these screws here. So I was assuming that now this whole thing was going to come off, or at least this side of it. I know there's the screws kind of underneath, some really small ones along the outer edge. Sounds like I don't want to mess with those. I do want to get the track off, so I'm going to do that. And then I guess see if that makes a difference. There's another hole turn. I can see daylight around the track now, so another turn. So that's at least 2 full turns. Wondering if it's easier to pull off from the front. Alright, I'm gonna do another one. That's 3 turns. Four. Yeah, I'm sure I could get that off now. Probably off the front easier. I can do one more. That's like 5.5 turns total. Looks like it's coming off. Six and a half turns? I can't get this off. I don't know what's going on. Definitely can see a lot more daylight around the track. It's just really rigid. Alright, I think I'm at 7.5 turns. Alright, yeah, just kind of walking it off. There we go. Okay. So I can't tell if they put some sort of coating on here or if it's already dirty from the limited amount of time I had it going. It does feel kind of slippery. So that must be that silicone grease or whatever. It does feel very dry to the touch. I'm not going to wipe that off, but okay. So the same 4 screws on the bottom that you have to loosen for the tensioning part seem to hold the whole thing on. So if I were to take those out, this thing is coming off. But at the same time, looks like the power of the motor comes through here. And I don't want to do that. No, I'm not going to pull on that. It does seem like I could get to the bottom screws that look like they were the ones that sheared off on you. Pretty easily now that the track's not on. I can at least inspect them. If I don't drop my phone here. There we go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't seem like they're evenly spaced at all. Take those loose. But those are the ones that sheared off on you, aren't they? So there's one here and here. These are closer together. These are farther apart. I guess it's like a square shape. Definitely not missing any. I don't know, what do you think? You think I should take those off? I'll just be really careful with them. Alright, we're going to pull them. So I guess what I'm wondering is, what are those top ones there for? Unless they work together with the bottom ones to hold it together. Yeah, I just want to, before I do that, I'm going to reorganize my piles of screws here. So these are all for the bottom plate. These are going to be different for sure. Yeah, I did have to put it together, so. Well, it seems to be pretty tight. Oh, that doesn't even want to budge. It's going. I'm guessing it's the Loctite on it again. No, it doesn't seem to be stripping or anything. No, I don't see Loctite. That's the screw we're dealing with. Doesn't make sense why the one screw is made from a different material. Unless going into plastic and metal. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope all this stuff is going metal to metal. Yeah, this one was significantly easier to take out. 2. Oh, that one's in there. That's what it came out. Let's see. You want to see the screw? Yeah, so that's the screw. There's a little delay. I can't see the camera until it shows up. Okay. Or I don't know if you'd be able to see it through this. Probably not. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, so it's a teeny tiny little screw, which does seem to match kind of your pictures where they were just sheared off. Yeah, you know, that's what I was just looking at, kind of the finish on it. So, see if I can hold this up here. It looks like it's black on the top and then on the kind of upper part of the screw, but the part where it engages in is either worn or like the coating has just completely come off, which if that's the case and it gets wet, I mean, yeah, if it rusts, that's not going to last very long. Alright, so that's 2 of them. There's just 4 altogether. That one did not want to come. Here's the last one. I'll come back to that. And they're on there. Guess that's a good thing. The pop metal ring. Not sure what that is. Afraid I'm going to strip out the heads here. Let's see if I got a different screwdriver. Yeah, that's not going to work. Alright, 1 second here. Those 2 are pretty tight and I can feel it slipping, so I don't want to strip that. All sorts of bits. Let's see. Phillips had all on this. It's going to be too big, I think. It's got pretty good bite to it. Let's see. the screwdriver with a hammer. My fear is that, so since I have this all, maybe I need to tighten this back up, but this is pretty, got a lot of play in it now. I don't want to mess with it too much. Yeah, I could turn it over. Might have to put the deck back down, because it's sticking up higher than that. Let's see if this will go. This is a really dumb screwdriver too. No. Do you guys know if there's a way to put the deck back down without powering it all the way back up? I thought I saw somebody said there was a release, some kind of release to swing it back down. Now, while I got it here, get a good look at the, let's see if I can turn the flash on. There we go. Just the tensioner. So, for the focus here, just the whole thing kind of slides with it. So, quite a bit of play there. Yeah, it was definitely righty tighty, lefty loosey. All right. Hang the deck off the table and leave it like that? Maybe. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just retighten these guys here. Just so it's sturdier. So they don't really need much. You don't have to really loosen these up too much to be able to move the wheels, move the back wheel. I did take this one of these out completely on the bottom when I was doing it, before I realized I didn't need to do that. But yeah, so like I haven't even tightened it, and this is much sturdier. Yeah, let me see if I can flip this thing over on its side, get some more leverage. It is surprising how heavy this thing is without the battery. Alright, so I got the deck on the table. I don't think you can see it, but I do like doing it like this with the deck up because it helps stabilize the thing. I think that was one of the guys on YouTube recommended that. Alright, so here's another look, kind of top down now, at the screw that I'm trying to get out. There's two left. I don't know if I can bend this. There we go. Yeah, I definitely got a lot more leverage this way. Let me just move it a little bit. It still wants to strip out. Let's see. All right, I think it's turning. Slowly. I can't tell if it actually is turning. Yeah, okay. I don't think it's turning. I mean, I guess that's a good thing, but this thing just wants to strip out. I'm afraid if I get it out, there's no way I'll get it back in as tight as it is right now. Yeah, that's getting pretty chewed up already. So I might not be getting that far. I mean, I guess at a minimum, I just wanted to make sure I could tighten these things, so I'll do that. I thought I'd be able to get in and, well, maybe it's these that really hold it together. I'm not sure what those other screws do. Try the other side, yeah. Let's see if I can get this other one. There was not any Loctite on these little screws. That I could see, anyway. You know, I'm just kind of wondering how they got them in so tight. It's either that or something to do with the tension on here. I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, I can't loosen these, even if I could. I'm already doing some damage on the top of these screws. So it's going to be really hard for me to get them back in as tight as they are. I think what I'm going to do is just put the other ones back in, get those, you know, as tight as I could. I can't tighten it either, so I guess that makes sense. There's definitely some sort of grease on the front of this. Put my fingers on it. Looks like it's leaking down. Next to the charging contacts. Well, from this front section here. I don't know if it's from the motor that lifts the deck. Bathing in Loctite. That's exactly what I was thinking. Is that? I'd have to go back and look at the video. I don't think I struggled too much to get those out. They were snug, but obviously not like these other two. Number 2 screwdriver, yeah, maybe, I don't know. This seems to, I don't know what kind it is. Just an old screwdriver that I have. But it seems to have a pretty good grip on it. So I've never actually used Loctite. Make sure they're clean. Sets in 20 minutes. Fully cures in 24 hours. Don't get on your skin, obviously. Okay. Let me just kind of wipe these off. And then what do? Just yeah. Either way, like Myron said, I got these 2 screws out pretty easily. The other ones do not want to move. Alright, so I'll shook it up. Do I have to pierce this thing? Yep. I just bought this, so drop on the lower thread and screw it in. Okay. So this is what I'm using here. The Locker 242, Blue 242. Sounds like a football play. I just gotta get a pin so I can. Okay. I don't know if you guys can even hear me when I walk away, but yeah, I'm not in California, so I think I'm good. I can't get the stupid... Supposed to cut the top off this thing? Okay, now I'm in. Yeah, I was trying to use a needle and that was not working. All right. Well, that's a pretty good bead all the way around, I would say. I don't actually want to get it on me, but it's all the way around, so hopefully that's good. It's definitely going to coat it all the way as it goes in. Even just putting a screwdriver on here, I know I might not have the right one. This does feel like it has a pretty good grip on it, and this one didn't slip at all. But you can see that whatever coating just kind of flaked right off. So I guess we'll see how long those last. So, and this one came out with no damage to it. This will do the same thing here. Gotta get it all the way around. Okay. Yeah. But for something that seems like it's a critical piece, this one didn't get damaged really at all. So, I don't know. Alright, those are on there pretty good. Guess I'm going to do the same test on the other side. This is going to take a little bit. So I guess on the other side, before I finish on this sprocket, I took those other screws out. I guess what I'm wondering is, doesn't seem like that did anything for me. If this is holding it together, maybe they hold it together from both sides. Notch the plastic where the screws you didn't pour back. Yeah, that's a good idea. I can see the Loctite, unless it's going to wear off. I mean, I can see it around where I put it in, but that's a good idea. So we know which ones have it and which ones don't. Maybe these have it on it, and that's why I couldn't get it out. I don't know. But the two I took out definitely did not have it. Yep, exactly. So we'll know. Are the heads of those screws resting on plastic or metal? This is definitely plastic. Feels pretty sturdy, but it's not metal. And there's no washer or anything that it's sitting on. Try the inside screws. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm still going to Loctite or re-Loctite all of the outer screws too. Just because they weren't on there very tight. So let me get something. I can just, I guess this is probably all going to get scratched up. Anyway, let's see. This will probably do it. All right, nice straight line on there for that one. And this one. You know what? I take it back. That might be metal. Sounds like plastic. The treads or spokes or whatever you want to call it, that's definitely on plastic, but this inner part does look like metal. And as I'm kind of scraping it, maybe I shouldn't be scraping it, but it's one little mark. Yeah, that's metal. So the screw does sit on the metal. Those 4 screws hold the hub on, yeah. All right. So let me flip it back over. I'm going to put those screws back on, and then we'll work on this track. If I can get it off the table without dropping it, that would be good. Okay. Okay. Back this back up. Let me go up high. Yeah, there you can see that better. All right, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws on top. We're using this one for that. No. How did I use that? No, not that one. pretty sure it was this one. Nope. Yeah, I'll clean up my area here a little bit. So now I had the other one out. Let's go there. I don't remember which one I used to get this thing out of there. None of these fit. There we go. 2.5 millimeter, I assume that is. Yeah, 2.5 millimeter. Alright, that's what it seems like it is. Oh, we're going to do the Loctite too. Just clean the screw off a little bit. Looks like this sits down on the same. I think it's metal. Yep. I got a little bit of blue on me. It's gone. Alright. I know I did not use the cylinders to get these out. I'm not sure where the bit is that I used. Comfortable with that. So. You smell something? Did you just blow out a candle or something?
No, it smells like that though.
Yeah. Does it smell like that in here?
Yeah. I wonder if it's outside.
The windows aren't even open. Well, I certainly hope it's not something I'm doing, but we got a little smell of something kind of almost like a burning smell, but not quite. I was just checking the battery to make sure nothing was touching contacts or anything. It's sitting on the table here. Does it smell like it's in here?
Yeah.
Does it smell like it's in here?
Yeah. Something on?
Unless like this light. Oh, light's not even hot. Computer. I mean, it's not like strong. But the that motor or anything. Right. Well, I don't know. You know how electronics or a motor smells like it burned? This is like 1% of that smell right now. But it was enough for me to want to check.
I think it's this.
Just the rubber?
I think it's this, which is what I smelled before.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty strong rubber smell.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you open that window? Getting old.
Showing your age, you grunt.
You bend over, you grunt. I know everybody's showing pictures and videos and the Loctite. Yeah, I mean, I just sniffed it. It didn't smell it. Everyone's been posting pictures and videos of their RTK and base station. I don't know. I think everybody's seen that at this point. I got my RTK up nice and high. Had to get out a ladder so I could get on my garage roof, and then another ladder on top of the garage roof to get to the upper roof. Put it in the side there. Seemed like the best place for it. And then a hole to get into the attic for the power. Worked pretty good. Definitely did the app update first. OTA update. I skipped the RTK binding like I think somebody recommended. I think even Lymow recommended that. Got the OTA done. Didn't have any problems charging or turning it on, thanks to everybody. What about the 2-second thing? I heard the fans kick and it worked right away. Pretty good. 2 more. And then somebody had made a recommendation to do like a rubber mat. I put the base station on, or the charging station on my patio. So obviously I couldn't use the screws. The patio is at least nice and flat. But I got one of those rubber mats like you would kind of see in a restaurant, like where they're in the back with a circle grid pattern. I was able to cut it to size. And I stuck a little bit extra under the front section, I guess it would be, of the charging pad so that it has a slight pitch towards the back. So hopefully it'll drive up on the contacts and not roll back. Although I think I heard something about brakes being applied now, so maybe that's not a thing. We'll see. Put the duct tape on the water sensors, moisture sensor. All right, one more. Yeah, I think it's just a rubber smell.
Okay.
Something. Hey Bob, so the 3 screws that hold the hub assembly together. So there's some screws. Let's see. You can see if I look down here. This is on the back side of the sprocket assembly, whatever we want to call it. So there's 4 screws that go all around. If you get the tracks off, it's pretty easy to manipulate the wheel and get to them. I got 2 of them off, 2 of those screws off relatively easily. Relatively easy. The 2 others, I was having a heck of a time. I could not get them to come off without starting to strip the heads on them. Those are really tiny screws. I don't have them out right now. When I flip to the other track, I'm going to try and take them out. If they come out, they come out. If they're in there really good, then I'm not going to worry about them. Those definitely look like the ones that sheared off in, I think it's Myron's post. And he's been here too, kind of helping out in the chat. So I wasn't able to get them all out, so I wasn't able to get the whole sprocket assembly apart. It seems like from those pictures that we've seen and the 6 screws that are on top here, it seems like these hold down into it, those hold up, and that holds the whole thing together. I know a lot of people have been having the problems of these coming out. So these were, I mean, I would say they're snug, not as tight as I would like them, given that so many people have had problems with it. So they did all have Loctite, 1 dab on each of these uppers. The inner 2 screws that I did get out definitely did not have any Loctite on them. Tiny little screws. Very easy to strip. It's a Phillips head on those. Very easy to strip the top of the camo out. So put some Loctite on those and put them back in. I guess if the other ones weren't budging, I mean, I was giving it everything I had and couldn't get them to move. I think they're not going anywhere. Hopefully they're not going to shear off. Yeah, I mean, I've obviously been following all the comments and everybody posting things, and you know, obviously there's going to be some issues, but you know, I understand too, early in the manufacturing process, you know, some things might not get quality assurance or whatever. So I didn't feel comfortable running this outside, knowing that, you know, some screws could pop loose and cause all sorts of trouble. So I'm going to put the track back on here, and then we'll flip over and do the other side. I think I'm just going to rock it without the center support or the cross metal and the cover. I know Lymow made a comment that a stick or something could get in there and get stuck, but from all the kind of cleaning things I've seen lately, it seems like it's you're just getting a lot of stuff caked in the spokes of the wheel here. Oh, I tightened this back down. So it seems like it's really easy to, it's much easier to clean. So we have all that apart. guy's name on YouTube, but I was just watching one of his videos where he started to get in and taking some of this stuff off. I said, oh, maybe I don't need to do it. I'll just watch that. But I don't think his wife let him get as far as we got tonight. And she said, what are you doing? I mean, I just have to know, right? So far, I haven't found anything that's like coming out, but I definitely found a bunch of screws that could be tighter without, you know. I guess this is a good angle for it, so you can see after you loosen these 4 screws, the tensioner, I had already taken pretty much all the tension off. The whole assembly slides back and forth. But if these were to come loose, this whole thing gets pretty wobbly. So that's definitely really important that these get nice and tightened down. They put some paint on it, so I think they were definitely, you know, validating that things were getting the right amount of turns on those, and those were nice and tight. They do come out. I don't think I needed to take them out, and you just have to loosen them up a little bit. So I loosened them up just because I had this laying on its other side as I was trying to get those other screws out. So with that all the way in, I should be able to get the track back on relatively easily, hopefully. One thing I would say, the track was pretty tight. You know, just taking this out of the package. Took it out of the package last night to get it charging. Resisted the urge to actually use it. But I got the RTK going and wanted to make sure that was at least working, so it took a little lap around the front yard, but didn't do the mapping yet. Even with this all the way loose, I'd have to go back on the video and look, but I think I was at 7.5, 8 turns of the tensioning screw. Seems pretty loose. It's still not very easy to get this thing back on. Let me see if I can take some more out. That's 8.5. It's 9.5. I just don't want the thing to come all the way off. That should work. Just gonna spin it and walk the rest of the way down. There we go. Oh yeah, that's very loose. There we go. Okay. So it was a good idea to count them. So I think I was at 8.5, 9.5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still a lot of play here. When I had it, it was pretty rigid. So that was 8 turns. Quite a bit more resistance. 9. Yeah, so that's my 9.5. That's pretty close. Wheel still spins. 1 want to say it was a little bit tighter than that. I think I probably lost count. See if we can do a little bit more. Maybe another quarter. Like an eighth. Yeah, that's pretty close to what it felt like. Still spins. Everything looks to be pretty well lined up. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll get there too, right? Especially with all the feedback everybody's posting. You know, I just try and have a positive kind of attitude. Been waiting for this. You know, I gotta say, like, when everybody started posting problems when we first got it, I was feeling pretty, you know, not great. But I think a lot of people have posted too that they haven't had problems, right? Or if they have, they've gotten through them and they still love the thing. So I think Lymow's been pretty responsive, you know, for a Facebook group. I haven't been on Reddit at all. I don't know if people have been using that. One thing I just don't like about Facebook is it's really hard to keep up. You know, I basically look at the group chat every morning and night and sort it by newest activity and try and see everybody's posts just to get as much kind of info as possible. All right. Let's see if I can put this down this way. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Trying to give it the best chance. Now, I already forgot what Myron said. I think it was pull up from the bottom or the front to the back. No, see, that's where it feels like it's going to break. I think it was here. Yeah, that's it. Oh boy, let's turn it off. Hey Google, set the chandelier to 100%. Oh, jeez. I'm looking for my phone. I forgot my room was about to kick off right now, so it was adjusting the lights to get ready to run. I don't know if I can just... turn it upside down, that thing's not going anywhere. Yeah, it is very helpful. It's just like I said, it's really hard to keep up. And I feel like there's a lot of valuable information there that, you know, I'd like to see pinned posts and things like that. I just don't know if Facebook does that or what. There's room, but not even start. Okay. So one thing I just saw when I took this off, oh, lights are turning off again. Hey Google, set the chandelier to 100%. Come on. So my Roomba has an automation that if it stops and it's the middle of the night, it's 11:30 here, it turns all the lights and everything back off in the house. So anyway, on this, when it's on here, definitely don't try and pull from here. It's really flexible rubber. My impression was this whole thing was rigid plastic, but it's really rubber. If you pull from here, on the other one, I was already starting to separate it, like the glue was separating from the plastic. So there's some kind of grip tabs that pressure in onto this plate. So if you kind of come from the bottom, it comes off. And then my choice so far is I'm gonna go without side panel, taking this off, taking the base off of this, and I'll just see how that goes. These are on here pretty tight. There is Loctite on these. But not, I guess not too much. I know somebody else was commenting earlier that they might have got the screws with pre-Loctite on them. I don't know. It doesn't go all the way around the thread. So if I'm putting that back on, I'll probably put some more on there. I mean, they are on there nice and tight. I haven't used it yet. I don't know if that would stay the case, or if these are really that important. I mean, they're not structural at all. It's just holding that cover on. I do like the look of the cover. The Lymow branding on it. But from everything I've seen about trying to clean it, it seems like it's just a trap. Trap for grass and everything else to get in there and not fall out. So from the videos I've seen and the pictures, this one doesn't want to budge. I just think it's going to be easier to maintain. And I think it just makes sense. If stuff gets in there, there's nothing to hold it in, it'll fall out. This one's giving me some trouble. Might turn this one on the side so I can put some leverage on it. Oh. There we go. So this cover comes up. Place that over here. Again, got the 4 screws to hold that on. Inside, there's one more little support piece. That's 4 screws holding that in. I mean, this is optional, right? You're obviously not supposed to do this. I think Lymow said not to do it, but yeah, on this side, this one was pretty loose. I had some trouble getting these off on the other track, where they seem to be on there pretty tight. This time, no, this one anyway, wasn't on very tight. This one, this bottom one has the washer on it too. And there's some Loctite on there. Not a lot. Those all look like the same screws. Now you probably can't see in here very well, but 4 screws, one kind of on each corner of this thing. Drop that one. There it is. All right. 2 more. thinking this will go quite a bit faster. Now that we know what we're looking for. So if I can get all 4 of those underside or backside sprocket screws out, then we'll maybe get to see the inside there. Like I said, if they're on there so tight that I can't get it out without damaging the, you know, I don't have the right tools, I'm sure. I got whatever screwdrivers have been passed down through the generations here. Alright. Oh. So again, bottom screw had the washer on it. Look like this on the bottom. There's some kind of little plastic O-ring jammed in there. Seems like a weird detail. Anyways, not planning on using that. Plus I think it looks kind of cooler with the open tread design there. Alright, so next, we're going to start on the bottom screws. Yeah, I don't think I even need to take the track off. So let me flip this around. Oh, I said it before, but I was thinking, yeah, you take the battery out, this thing's not going to be that heavy. This thing is heavy. So, just to kind of recap what we're going after here. There's this screw here. This one for some reason looks like it's got some white paint on it. This one here, so we'll have to rotate. As long as I can rotate the track, I'll see if we can get those out. Just not going to check the battery on this thing. Ooh. Just made it. 4% battery on the phone. I was going to say, let me know if you guys can't hear me anymore. I got an earbud in, but I don't know how long that's going to last. Alright, phone's plugged in. I guess I can switch to my other earbud. That'll work. Alright. Let's see if we can get these out. This is definitely the better angle to do it. Push it down on it. So a lot of the screws look like they hold on for a second and then the Loctite gives way and then they come right out. The two I had on the other side, I couldn't budge them. This one, it's pretty strong too. Yeah, that's going to start stripping already, I can tell. So I'm not going to touch that one. See if we can rotate this one into view. Hardly any resistance at all on this one. It's coming right out. So it was on there. All good for sound so far. All right, good. So for the screws that didn't want to come out, I mean, they put up pretty serious fight. And I know you didn't see it on the other side, but I was starting to strip it out and there was really nothing I could do. This one, I mean, I got it out without even damaging the coating on it, which was pretty unlikely. So these are really tiny screws. This one doesn't even look like, so what I saw on the other one, there's obviously some kind of coating on it, black coating. At least half of the thread looked like it was, the coating was at least stripped off. This one, I mean, it was just, it's barely on the tip. So we'll get some Loctite on there, put it back in. But I think, like Myron's point earlier, if that came out that easily, that would have been one that would have come out. And who knows, you know, you lose a couple screws from the top. I guess I gotta keep track of what I'm doing, yeah. Lose a couple screws from the top, lose one or two of these. There's only 4 on the inside. You know, the other ones don't really stand a chance being this small to hold on. Get you kind of closer there. Yeah, this is the one we're working on. Somebody was asking before if that's plastic. It sounds like plastic, but it scratches like metal. So I think the screw does sit down on the metal. The outer kind of treads, tire treads, whatever you want to call it, the sprockets, spokes, they are definitely plastic. And there's kind of a seam that this screw, it almost looks like it goes in between, like it's sitting on half plastic, half metal. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back. So I marked the other two on the other side that I did not put Loctite on, just in case they do come loose and fall out, just so we know, or I know, which one's backed out. So if one comes out that doesn't have a mark on it, I know that was one that I did the Loctite on. One comes out that does have a mark on it, well, I know that it did not have Loctite on it, or Loctite that I put on it anyway. Okay. So that one I couldn't get out. This one I already did. And I'll try this one. I don't think this one's moving. Could be the screwdriver I'm using, but I thought we'd get the other ones out. No, that's going to start to shoot, I think. Cam, whatever you call it. No, I'm not going any farther on that one either. Put a little mark on that. tiny little mark. Okay, so one more. That should be the last one. Alright, this one's coming out. I mean, it's tight. It was definitely tight. But clearly there's something different about two that I had no chance at. That was 2 on the other side and 2 on this side. I don't know if there's something to that or not. But this one's got a little bit more of the, I don't know what you call it, damage to the black coating that was on it. But again, that's just a really tiny screw. So if you lose any of these and any of the others, that's just not a lot of metal holding on. So it does not surprise me that it would shear. But hopefully doing all this can keep things nice and tight and I don't have those problems. I know not everybody's going to do this. I guess it's up to you. Like I said before earlier, I didn't want to send this thing out in my yard, knowing that there could be loose screws or that pop out. I think somebody said that within 5 hours they had already lost screws. And then it's kind of too late. I know they said you can get more, right? I'm sure you can, but that looks pretty good. Okay. So we did the underside. Here's the adjustments to tighten the tread. Come to think of it, I did not finish this one off. I'm going to finish this one off first. I didn't loosen these. Yes, I did. Okay, they all need to be tightened up. So like I was saying before, these 4 here, if you were going to adjust the tension on the track, you need to loosen these, and then there's a track tension adjustment screw here. But these also hold on the sprocket itself, so they really lock it in place. So we want these to be nice and tight. Otherwise, it can start to get the kind of wobble that I know I've seen a couple people had. And we don't want that. So there is paint on these, probably a little hard to see. That whoever tightened these in the factory, there was some spec they were going to on these. I mean, these were nice, these were tight. Obviously, this is all spun around. So there's some type of washer. I think it's like a locking washer. So a flat washer, a locking washer, and then the actual screw itself. And they had, you know, kind of paint all the way down it. But I assume that's to, you know, you could check it, look at it, and see if it came loose. But once you've pulled it out, kind of paint doesn't mean anything anymore. Let me know, guys, if there's anything else you want to see on here. I plan on doing the other screws on the other side of this once I get these tightened up. Loctite all of those. I think there's 6 screws that are on the top side of each rear wheel. There was Loctite on all the screws holding the bottom plate in too. That's all these holes all the way around. I'll probably put a little bit more on there. Probably need some more Loctite. I did take off the side discharge blockers that, it comes in kind of mulching mode. So I took those off, so I plan on doing side discharge, at least to start. Maybe get to mulching at some point. I think the side discharge, hopefully, is going to help with charging contact issues. It's not essentially depositing all the clippings right onto the charging plates. I'm hoping for that. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I also took the guards off, so the side discharge chute had some guards on it. Obviously, if you take those off, don't stick your fingers in it while it's on the lawnmower. It does look like it, without those guards on, it would be easy to put your fingers in there where they don't belong. But one of the things that happened when I took that, not the guards, but when I took the side discharge blockers off, there's a rubber flap, like a mud flap. I'll show you when we get to that, but that fell off because the screws that hold the side discharge chute blockers that hold that in also hold the mud flap on. So they go through the mud flap up and in. Somebody mentioned that there is bolts that hold the blade motors on. Yep, I did do that. The 17mm socket. I know I heard that on the videos. We took the blades off and looked. So I don't know how this works on Facebook. I think we can post this after, or I'll upload it to YouTube or something. Sorry, I just need to get the power cord for my laptop. That is also running out of power. Okay, that can be this. Locking, unlocking. Go figure. My computer's running out of battery. I plug it in and it turns off. I'll wait for that to come back on. I can't see the chat now, but all right. I don't know if I finished these. But anyway, as I was saying, so the mud flap fell off. 2 screws. Somebody did say in the comments that there's something else in the box I need to go find that you can, I don't know if you reattach a little plastic piece. There's a groove that looks like something goes back in it. And then the mud flap can go back on. Which I don't remember seeing the mud flap in anybody else's kind of videos. But it looks like it sits on the of the back, the most rear side of the mowing deck, facing the charging contacts. Which I know somebody else had made, I think, bigger flaps that covered the charging contacts. I guess I don't know how it works for when it needed to charge. But I know that looked like something I might want to try. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me here. Give me a little more confidence to pull this beast apart. Okay. Alright, those look to be nice and tight. So I'll flip this bad boy over. Alright, I think I'm back on the chat now, so let's flip this thing over. Nice and tight on the tracks. And I get to the 4 screws without taking off the bottom. I think you're talking about the 4 screws here. We just went through. Let's see, is my video still working? Oh, I don't see anything. Shows it on there. Slow connection. Kind of slow connection. Myron, which screws are you talking about? The inner ones? Let's see here. If I leave the live chat and come back to it. 2.5 hours, oh boy. Okay, looks like the video's working again. Maybe it's just really delayed. I'm not sure which screws you're talking about. Yeah, so here, I didn't take the track off this time. I took it off on the first one, but I did get, rotate these around. Same thing. So 2 screws I was able to get out, and 2 screws were in there nice and tight. The 2 that were able to come out were, they were tight, but they were, well, they came out. So the other ones, again, wouldn't budge kind of at all. So I just did the same thing. I put some Loctite on it, put some marks on the ones that I didn't put Loctite on, so I'll be able to track and see after. So I've re-tightened all my track tension screws. I'm going to flip it over and take the top screws off. I haven't done that on that track yet. And just get some Loctite on those. And then I think we're just kind of button everything back up. Double check all screws again. Oh, this thing's getting heavier as the night goes up. I definitely do recommend, I don't remember who the guy from Australia, I think Dave from Australia, he was doing something with track cleaning and had the raised the deck first. So I raised the deck first before I powered it off and pulled the batteries out. It's just giving me a lot of stability here. Where if I didn't do that, I think the whole thing would want to tip over. So definitely recommend that. Alright, so the bottom count, these are the tensioning screws. So Brent, I think we looked at these before. These you have to loosen if you want to take the track off, if your track is too tight. So my track out of the box was way too tight. There was no way I was getting it off. Once you loosen these, you don't have to take them all the way off. Just loosen them a little bit. Then there's a tensioner screw in the back here. I gave it, keep me honest, because I think we're up to like 10 full turns. 9 or 10 full turns of that screw gave me enough tension that I could slide the whole assembly, the whole wheel and everything back enough to pop the track off and then get it back on. I pulled it back up to the 9.5 turns of this screw here, and it was nice and tight again. So these tracks are pretty rigid. There's not a lot of play. They haven't been used yet, so nothing's had a chance to loosen up. So the last little bit that I'm going to get ready to do is just these top screws here. So I was able to get these all off on the other side, but the inner screws, there was 2 that I could not get off. So there's 4 down there. So with the 6 on top, 4 on the bottom, we think if I was able to get all those screws off, then the whole thing would come apart and we'd be able to see the inside. Sounds like that's really only possible if it's broken, so we don't want to break it. And if those screws are in there that tight, then I don't have a chance. So that was loose. Oof, this first one. That barely snug up at all. So that one I'm sure would have been in my yard somewhere. And I just got a feeling like, you know, you lose these. There's a little bit of Loctite on these. Same as we've been seeing and everything. So a little dab. It's not much. As soon as you lose any of these, I think you're at risk. That one wasn't tight. Hardly tight at all. So this is exactly why I'm doing it. I'll pop these out. I want to say the other ones were relatively tight. No. I mean, it's not what you want to see. Here. Sorry, this light's right in the way. Guys, are you still awake in there?
Yeah.
It's way past bedtime. Come on. Did Mom go to bed?
Huh?
I said, did Mom go to bed?
I don't know.
You guys got another thing coming when school starts. I think I'm going to start waking you guys up in the morning. Like when the bus comes. I'll see you at 5:45.
Wait, actually?
I'd rather start doing it today or tomorrow than Wednesday, when the bus is going to be here and I can't get you out of bed. Did you go to bed?
Yeah.
It's just you and Eli?
Yeah.
Okay. Finish up. Sorry, I just realized my kids are still hanging out in there. Alright, so not much effort at all to take these off. Definitely was harder on the other side. So we're going to Loctite all these up. And hopefully that gets us what we need. Guess you guys can't really see what we're doing here, but these 6 screws, there are these little plastic covers or something all the way around. I don't know what that's all about. And then these almost look like, I don't know. It almost looks like there's another screw that came through from the inside. Yeah, all the way around. So I'm not sure. You might not be able to get in there unless things are really busted. I guess I forgot. I can put this up higher. They're nothing. Yeah. I don't know. It almost feels like metal poking through it. And I guess you've seen the inside of it, so I don't know. This is look for another charger cord. There we go. See. All right. I'm gonna try and pick up the pace here a little bit. So it does look like I have the dull blades. I mean, I don't know if I call it dull, but there's definitely like paint covering the blade itself. So I'll sharpen those up. I don't have a grinder or anything, but I got a drill. I'll chew that. Yeah, like a thing you stick in your drill that spins around and has some grinder to kind of edge to it. Sharp as butter knives, yeah, that's what I hear everybody saying. I don't know. I don't think I'm a good judge. I mean, I was running my finger up and down the long way on it. It's not like I was getting cut. Obviously, it's not a razor blade, but felt like if I put force on it, it wouldn't be pleasant. Can you get to the 4 screws that broke off on me without taking off the bottom? I guess I'm not sure which ones you're looking for. I got the ones on the top. We got the ones on the bottom. so you can get to them. As long as you spin the wheel around, they come into view. Maybe it's because I have the bottom plate off that they're nice and easy to see. That might be it. Yeah, I mean, they're nice and easy to see from this side. At least they'd be easy to visually check. I mean, I'll hold the plate up when I get done with these and see if that blocks view of them. I don't think it does. Gotta find the... Oh, I was using them before. Alright, that's better. Yeah, once I put the bottom on, I'll check. That's what I'll be doing next. So, I got 2 in. I got 4 more. Four more to pop in. I found the torque bit I was using, so this should be easier now. Oh, shit. Sorry. I have blue stuff on my table. I should wipe that off. Looks good. Boys, time's up.
Okay.
Not okay. Get moving. I am going to wake you up at 5:45. All right, one more. Thanks. At least I'll know I've done everything I could to give this thing a best shot. Just hanging out with my Facebook people. Okay. That's on there good. So, go through the bottom plate. And I can just hold it on and see if you can reach those screws or not. Two screws. There's definitely some oil or something that's in here. Like I can see it all down here, and it may have been dripping out of the motor. I have it on the side for so long. I don't know. I can try it around like this. Out of the way. Yeah, no. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Myron, with the back plate on, it doesn't change access to those screws. You can get to those no problem. I'll see if I can hold it here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little bracket that sticks out here. That's there whether I have the bottom plate on or not. So as long as you spin the wheels, you can get one screw into view at a time and work on those, or at least inspect to see if they're still there. I don't know, could you see on yours? I know they sheared off on the inside. Could you see if they were still there from the, I guess, from the underside? Thinking I would I don't want to turn this upside down and put this plate back on. I'm going to keep it like this. I don't know how sensitive the camera housing and stuff is on top. I don't really want to put it upside down. Well, it's no different than what I was just doing here. So this screw's not even in the right spot. Based on the way it's, it would be right here. So I got a screwdriver on it, no problem. I think you're right though. Taking the bottom plate off gives me room, but put my hand in there. So you're gonna obviously need some force on it to get it out if it's coming out. Yeah, I would probably take the bottom plate off. I mean, it was just the 10 or 15 screws, whatever it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 14 screws. And they came out pretty easily. These all had a Loctite on them. I'm going to give them a little bit more. Hopefully I still have 14 screws here. Screwdriver works better on these. Yeah, these are definitely bigger screws. Like if a screw like this, if that was in here, I mean, that would be so much more, so much stronger. Those are the ones that are in here on the bottom side are a fraction of the size of these. And I mean, these are still small screws. They're not big by any means, but they got some more meat on them. I got more glue on me. Okay. I don't know, guys. Maybe you should put gloves on or something. I don't know about this whole stuff. But I'm gonna wash my hands after. I'm not gonna eat anything. All right. Let's see. Once I get this secured on, we'll take another look and see if the screwdriver will work. I know people were asking before. Oh, jeez, dropped it. You know, what was metal, what was plastic, the bottom plate, definitely metal. Get that. Be right back. Just go grab the needle hose. Drop that screw right in the trap. Okay. Got it. Clean this off a bit. Like I said before, I've never really used Loctite myself. I'm just putting kind of one drop on one side, feeding another dropper on the other side, getting a good coating all the way around. Trying not to get it all over myself. I don't remember how they did this in the video. If they turned the whole thing upside down or not. It'll definitely make it easier. I just don't want to put that much weight on the camera module. Okay. Alright, so now that, yeah, so you're right, Myron, you can get a screwdriver on it, but you're not getting it out with your fingertips. You can't get your hand in there to get any actual leverage on it. That's if you had the screw in the perfect place. So, bottom cover's got to come off if you're trying to take that out. Which I think you kind of, if you're going to do a test to see if they're in there nice and strong, you gotta be able to take it all the way out. And I mean, I'm happy with how strong the ones that stayed in, even the ones that didn't, I mean, they were in there pretty strong. So, time will tell, I guess. Yeah, there was Loctite on these screws already. I guess I'm just as worried. I don't think they'll damage anything if they fall out, but I don't really want them to fall out either. I don't know, these screws didn't really give me too much trouble, so maybe if they give me a little bit more trouble next time, that's okay. Yeah, right. They're not driving the thing, so. I will keep you all posted if I put too much Loctite on and can't get these things off. At least they're bigger screws, so I have a pretty firm grip on them. pretty big screws, relatively speaking. You know? This one's trying to cross thread on me. I don't know if I said this before, but we named ours Frank the Tank because it's Tank and Frank. I know somebody else had said Hank, but I forgot which Will Ferrell movie Frank the Tank was. This one wants to go in there. Yeah, seems better. I can try. I don't know if you're going to have enough downward force on them. I mean, a ratchet will definitely fit. Obviously, I don't have the right one on there, but that'll fit. I mean, as long as you can really push down on it. The never-ending bottom screws. There's quite a few of these. I do have to say, for the second or two that I turn the blades on, just to kind of hear the different sounds. I don't know if I went all the way up to 5,000 or not, but I'm pretty surprised at how quiet it is. You know, all the videos that everybody's had, I think it's just the microphones on the cameras or phones or whatever they're using. That picks up a lot of noise. But driving the thing itself was really quiet. And of course I wasn't actually cutting anything. Maybe it'll be a little bit louder, but like if somebody was leaf blowing on the other end of my neighborhood that far away, that would be louder than this thing mowing. So. And I was only standing 4 or 5 feet away from this. So. Couple more here, 2 in the front, 1 more in the back. Oh, I do need to find the other piece. So I can get those mud flaps back on. I feel like I didn't even really take time to do a full unboxing. I feel like I've done it 100 times already watching everybody else. Alright, I got 1 more. I got 2 screws though, so not sure where the other one came from. I guess I got this pile over here. It's probably from that inner support. For the side cover. Those are all the same screws. Okay, bottom's back on. Blades are on nice and tight. I don't think I had anything else that I was really looking to try and get done. I don't know if there's anything else you guys are looking to see. Otherwise, I think I'm going to try and get that mud flap on. Probably call it from there. So that's just sitting just kind of like that. So I have the screws, but I guess I'm looking for a little plastic piece that must slide in there. I'm going to go run out to the box real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, looking like these are probably the right thing. Huh. Guess that goes like that. Oh, and the guard was down here, so yeah, that looks right. There's a little R on that one. For now. L on that one. I guess my challenge is, well, who's right and who's left. I guess this is the robot's right. Frank the Tank's right. This would be my left. So that's what's going to go there. And this one will pop up here. Still gotta sharpen the blades, we'll do that another time. So this is going on there. Put those screws back into the side discharge blockers. Oh, maybe I didn't. Let's say they're either some of these. I think they were the longer. That's not the countersunk ones. I think these are the longer ones that were on the bottom. Again, that's one of the reasons I want to do the video. I'll go back and look and see if I put the wrong screw in the wrong hole. So I think it's the longer one goes underneath. This was like this. Looks good. So originally I thought these were kind of glued on. It fell out shortly after I took those screws out, so I confirmed that. Not gonna Loctite those, and that's going into plastic. Okay. Hang on 1 second, guys. What are you doing? Jude! Go to the bathroom. Oh my god. Ugh. My youngest. I just heard water running. I thought I heard water running. No. I think he was sleepwalking and peed on the stairs. Wonderful. Alright. So then I'm using the kind of smaller one. Not the one that had the kind of countersunk head. I think that one had come out of the inside to match these. Man, that was loud. I thought somebody was taking a shower upstairs. Nope. Golden shower, I guess. Anyways. Alright. I think that does it. So, yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I got a lot of cleanup to do here. Nobody needs to see any of that. Good luck, everybody. I mean, I'd recommend checking it out. Obviously, I think Lymow's going to take care of everybody if you got a problem, but I'd much rather spend a couple hours doing this than have to, you know, worry about trying to get exchanges and things like that. So, I think obviously over time, Lymow will get there. You know, anybody who's doing manufacturing stuff, like it's not going to happen overnight. So obviously they've been working on this for quite a long time, and I'm pretty impressed with, you know, what I see so far. And yeah. So unless anybody else has anything else, looks like there's still a few people hanging out. I think we're pretty much done here. Got a lot of extra screws, but I think those were all from the guards and the side. So I'm going to sign off here. Let you know how Frank the Tank is working out for us. I guess one thing we'll see is how it does with leaves. I got a lot of oak trees. Obviously, I know it can handle that. But I have a lot of leaves that come down, so leaves and small, you know, twigs and things. Probably hit those with the ride-on until they turn to dust. But, alright, like I said, thanks for hanging out. I'll try and post this to Facebook and then back to the group. I don't know how that works, but figure it out. Benjamin, I don't understand, unfortunately. I see Loctite, and I really don't understand the rest. Let's see if I can do a translate. Depends on which Loctite you use. You can use the lighter one and it won't be so bad, or you can use a drop of varnish. Okay. The Loctite I was using tonight was Thread Locker Blue, number 242. So I know it says right on it it's removable. I think there was a couple different blues though. This is all they had. I was at the Home Depot looking for it, so. All right. I guess the one thing I do want to figure out, I swear somebody said there was a release pin or something you could do to manually raise and lower the deck. Otherwise I'll pop the battery back in. I think it looks nice with the see-through tread. I do like the Lymow branding on there, but seems like this is going to be a lot easier to clean and keep the kind of build-up from getting in there. I guess time will tell. I haven't heard any negatives. I know Lymow said not to, they don't recommend doing that, but I'll just have to be really careful with it. Make sure we don't have any, sticks and things down. I don't really plan on doing the scheduled routines anytime soon. Probably babysit it for a little while and just send it out manually. My kids leave toys all over the yard. Not something I want to deal with. I know it'll avoid them, but they'll leave like green colored ropes and chains or something on the ground that'll get wound up in it. So I don't trust my kids. So anyways, all right guys, have a good night. Signing off, and good luck to everybody.